Hello guys, I hope you're doing well. So this video, I guess it's going to be a little bit of an apology video, and I just want to kind of change the tone a bit. So I've been quite negative in most of my videos, and I just wanted to kind of apologise and kind of focus on some of the positive things, and kind of try and view the world in a more positive light. So I've got kind of like a little list of things I want to kind of bring to light. So of course, look, the first thing that I've really been getting wrong is just about I think very negatively about having autism and how autistic people are treated in society and stuff. And of course, I'm just ignoring the fact that no, autism is clearly a gift, and I'm extremely privileged to have autism, and because it just everyone says it's a gift, and of course the fact that I'm also a straight white male, just all that together just literally makes me the most privileged possible person to ever exist, and I've also been talking very pessimistically about the job market and the economy and culture nowadays for autistic people, and I've just been reflecting on that as well, and I just realised actually no, I'm totally wrong, and I apologise. The job market and the economy and the way society is going is just totally wonderful, and I'm just so excited to go to work and work full time and wake up at 5 a.m. every day and go to an office or a warehouse where people laugh at me. And of course, they're not they're laughing with me, right? I'm just totally wrong. No one's ever bullied me in my life, I'm just totally, that was just totally wrong. And I apologise for thinking that anyone ever bullied me, they were just laughing with me, and I was being too much of a chud to notice. And so I really apologise to those people who I thought were bullying me, and it turns out that pushing me in the toilet when I was in school and stuff, all that was just banter. So I really apologise for those false accusations. And going back to the whole workplace thing anyway, I'm just so excited to go to work for 90% of daylight hours, and then come home to my empty room that I pay only £1,000 a month for. Yeah, and only £1,000 for a room. That's such a good bargain. And you know what? What's even better? The neighbourhood it's in is wonderful. There's only been 5 stabbings this week. I know. I'm kind of almost worried that it's going to be a bit gentrified, but that's just my white privilege speaking, I guess. And of course, all those stabbings, that was just because of socioeconomic factors, and no one, it doesn't matter, right? And that's just me being bigoted for even thinking about that, But then, for the few hours I do have when I'm back in my really good value room, besides all the noise from outside, when I have those moments, I kind of think about how privileged I am to have a job, and for the government to take so much of my money to go to really important things like driving an undocumented immigrant hundreds of miles to go and get fish and chips, and to see a doctor. Because I can't see a doctor, but that's okay, because I have my straight white male privilege to look after me anyway. It's much more important for that person to go see a doctor. And then I also kind of for a while, I was really sad when I lost that job, because I looked at a girl in my office for 0.5 milliseconds too long. But of course, that's because of my autism. And that was my fault. And the fact that actually, no, you know what, I should never got that job in the first place, because now they're doing it right. They're actually making it so that people with my gender and my ethnicity can't even apply for certain jobs, and that's how it should be, right, to account for all this privilege I have. And and I'm also, I shouldn't even be allowed to look at girls anyway, because I'm not entitled to vision. That should be given back to women and people of colour, and it's their world, and I just need to cope with my privilege. And talking about dating, I went on I went on a date with someone the other day. They were 35 years old, and they brought their 3 children along, and I paid for the whole thing, of course, because that's what I do as a good man, and just kind of paying reparations for my privilege. And I didn't get a text back, but I did see her get in a car with my friend Tyrone. I don't know where they went, of course, but it's none of my business, and I can't be jealous, because I'm mature, and jealousy is misogynistic. So that was absolutely fine, and of course I haven't even touched a woman in 5 years, but I'm not that label that people use, what word I mean, because I know I'm just too progressive, that somehow that makes me like contradict the definition. So don't worry about that. I'm progressive. I'm not one of those men who complains about being lonely, because that's the worst thing to ever do in the world. So I've just been reflecting on how lucky I am, and how much I love the world, and how much I love the country I'm in, and everyone around me is just like treats me so fairly, and I just have such a drive to be some tax cattle for all these people, who are less privileged than me. And I think just one of the core things I've realized is just the fact that because I miss those cryptic social cues, that does just mean that like I'm a total subhuman, and because sometimes I say things that come across as slightly rude, that means I deserve to be lonely forever, and I'm extremely privileged if I can even get this job that I really love, so I just kind of wanted to make this briefly to put things into perspective, and not to take life for granted. And if you fit the profile of me at all, like any of those, if you're you should be extremely grateful. And I guess I just wanted to make such an apology, for being so negative about all these things. And I'm so, it's like when I got fired from that job, and I went out and I went to my 500th interview, when the HR woman asked me, oh, where do you see yourself in 5 years? That just made me so happy. And I was like, oh, I'm so optimistic about the future. And I was so excited at the thought of that I didn't even know what to say. And I think that's probably why I failed the interview again. But oh well, that was me being silly, I'm not. I was just me being too entitled, I guess. So that was funny. I'm just really looking forward to the future. The world is my oyster, as you say. And it's the same for you. So and I just imagine one day, if I work really hard, I might even be able to afford a studio apartment for myself. And if I meet the right woman, maybe one day, if I pay for everything, I might even get to become a stepdad. Could you imagine that? Wow, isn't that that's the height of ambition, my goodness. So I went back to my hometown the other day, and I just loved looking at like how great like the property prices are. Those landlords who worked really hard, they really deserve all that money, and of course there has been a rising crime rate, but someone was complaining about that in my town the other day, and they got put in prison for 3 years, because that's just such an extreme thing to even bring up, so there are a few problems with all these people who actually like talk about things like that we shouldn't even talk about, because it's just, it's not allowed. And I just don't even know what to say, which is just be totally shut down. And I just need to be more positive and more accepting of my privilege as a straight white neurodivergent male. I just got everything going for me, and I'm just so happy. I don't know. I just wanted to send out a little bit of positivity to you guys today, and let me know what other things you're grateful for in the comments. And again, I'm sorry for being a neurodivergent white male. I just I acknowledge my privilege, and I apologize every day. And make sure to drive your electric car, pay your carbon tax, smile, and make sure to just work as hard as you can, and make sure to take a job you really don't like, because that means someone less privileged than you doesn't have to do it. And also, remember, you're not entitled to any form of a friendship or relationship or anything like that, no matter how hard you work, because your parents took some medication when they were pregnant with you, and that's not their fault at all, and it's your fault for being so privileged. So have a nice day, and let me know in the comments what else you're positive and happy and grateful for. And I just wanted to sum up as an apology for previous videos being so cynical and negative, and I hope this has kind of helped me to redeem myself. So have a wonderful rest of your week, and goodbye.